One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to the news. To present, my name is Henry Himonde. Let's take a look at the headlines in our news. Kafulafuta Dam project advances. Kalabo teachers get housing units. Luangwa traditional leaders bemoan increased human-animal conflicts. And Eastern Province holds inter-district games competition. And now the news in detail. Information and Media Permanent Secretary Kennedy Kalunga says President Hakainde Hichilema has embraced the Africa Peace Initiative by attending the meeting in Russia and Ukraine. Mr. Kalunga says the Africa Peace Initiative is seeking to contribute to the creation of a conducive environment for economic and social prosperity. The Permanent Secretary said this in a statement issued to Zanis in Lusaka today. He said the objective of the Africa Peace Initiative is to encourage open dialogue and negotiations between Russia and Ukraine in pursuit of peace. Mr. Kalunga adds that the Africa Peace Initiative is motivated by the humanitarian crisis created as well as the far-reaching consequences of the conflict, which include disruptions in Africa's commodity supply chains. He explained that while expressing concern and urgency to resolve the prolonged Russia-Ukraine conflict, the president has cited equally pressing and growing security and humanitarian challenges in the region. He said Zambia is an active member of the African Union, and as such is involved and committed to initiatives and efforts that are addressing the situation in Sudan. The Permanent Secretary adds that the President recently assumed the chairmanship of COMESA and will soon assume the chairmanship of the SADC organ on politics, peace and defense and security cooperation in August this year. The construction of Kafulafuta Dam in Masaiti district has reached an advanced stage. The $449 million United States project is expected to be producing over 300 metric meters of water per day once complete. Nkwachi Chanda now reports.
Works on the much-anticipated Kafulafuta Dam project, earmarked to improve water supply to over 1 million residents in Ndola, Luanshya, Pongwe and Masaiti districts have advanced. The Kafulafuta Dam, which is being constructed under the Water Supply and System Project, has since officially closed and started the harvesting of water. China National Complete Engineering is the contractor working on the project.
Achieved first victories, but this is still a lot of work waiting for us before the overall project is fully operational. As one of the participants in the project, we will continue to maintain the principles of scientific allocation and professional construction, and actively participate in the subsequent project construction with full enthusiasm. I firmly believe that with this, the concern and the support of our client and the joint effort of all colleagues, safety will be guaranteed, quality works will be guaranteed, and time efficiency will be guaranteed. The
Kafubu Water and Supply Sanitation Company Managing Director has cautioned the contractor to ensure there's consistency in the supply of water to the people.
As Kafubu, we wish therefore to state and emphasize that the following issues, among many, should be strictly adhered to as we commence the start of the water harvesting. We need to make sure that alternative roads are completed and passable. Further, adequate signage should be displayed. There is need to make sure that the compensation water flow downstream is maintained to continue supporting both marine and human lives as well as activities.
And the district administration in Masaiti is elated with the progress made.
Very exciting moment for Masaiti and the Copper Belt at large. The project, which was abandoned, has been now funded by the New Dawn government and has come to a start by starting the first harvest of the water and will finally be commissioned by next year. Indeed, we shall enjoy clean and healthy water for our community. For this, I say thank you to China Complete for honoring their promise of good and hard work to Zambia.
The construction of the facility stands at 93% to completion and is expected to be commissioned by early next year. Nkwachi Chanda, Zanis, Masaiti District, Copperbelt Province.
And Mongo District Commissioner Morgan Akabeswa has bemoaned the increased use of illegal fishing gear by fishermen in the Zambezi River. Mr. Akabeswa said this when MTN Zambia donated some fishing nets to Zambezi Fish Traders Cooperative Society in Mongo. Rogers Fyavipa now gives us the rest of the story.
Some fish types in the Zambezi River is gradually depleting due to increased illegal fishing gears, popularly known as monofilaments. And Mongo District Commissioner Mokani Akabeswa has spoken strongly about it.
In that little by little we are depleting the fish population because of these unconventional type of fishing nets, that we are using. Some of us are using mosquito nets. And that mosquito net, it has been treated with insecticide, which is very inimical to aquaculture.
Area Mongo District Fisheries Officer Paul Dag says his department is fully geared to ensure fish population in natural water bodies is protected through intensified water patrols.
We have tried to use so many methods. We do go on patrols to make sure that people are using light fishing gears. What we normally do when we find people are using illegal fishing gears, for example the monofilament nets, the nets that are not allowed, we normally confiscate. Then if not, what we normally do, we can fine that fisherman that we find using a long fishing gear.
Saving fishing nets donated by MTN, Zambezi Fish Traders Cooperative Society Chairperson Adon Scheri assured the use of using light fishing nets in order to preserve fish in the Zambezi River.
Fish is depleting and that we should not use monofilaments. We should not use monofilament nets. We should use cotton nets.
Rogers Fiber reporting for Zanis in Mongo District of Western Province.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Administration Mambo Hamaundu has called on internal auditors in local authorities to be trustworthy in the utilization of public funds. Mr. Hamaundu made the call during the closure of the 2023 Local Government Conference in Siavonga District. Here are the details.
In order to enhance good governance, transparency and accountability at all levels, especially in the public sector, the Institute of Internal Auditors of Zambia has organized the first ever conference. The conference, whose theme is Reinvigorating Internal Auditors in Local Government, could not have come at a better time than now when the government is implementing the decentralization policy.
His Excellency the President did launch the decentralization policy. That should have been on 30th May. With decentralization, a lot of resources are coming to local authorities. A lot of functions will devolve to the local authorities. And we are living at a time where we have a lot of support. As the President did launch the decentralization policy, he also did launch the devolution support program, where we have gotten support from the World Bank to the extent of $210 million.
As for the Institute of Internal Auditors of Zambia, the increase in the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, the role of auditors in identifying potential weaknesses in protecting public resources is crucial.
This is a very important gathering for us, and the response that we have seen from you, the participants, is so overwhelming that we would like to actually make this an annual event, because we do realize that local authorities are a special set of institutions that require a special kind of program to help in the development of our country. And as we all know, there's a big buzzword around local authorities in the name of CDF, Constituency Development Fund.
For the participants, gaining insights into how they can assist in enhancing transparency and accountability in the utilization of public resources is crucial for the development of the country.
Understand these things and the environment we are operating in, so that we can up the game. We can rise to the occasion in helping the government, the local government, improve the systems so that there is a prudent utilization of resources. It's very common to emphasize on controls, like it was mentioned earlier, just bashing, stamping. But this conference will help us to see that part of our roles as auditors is also to evaluate how the local authority is managing risks. What framework is in place? Okay?
Sir, thank you for setting the tone. The tone has been set. It's up to us to reciprocate and be seen to be adding value. That which will be shared with us throughout the conference, let's ensure that not are we just going to be hearers, but let's be practical and doers. Let's go and be agents of change.
Zanis reports in Siavonga District, Southern Province.
The Zambia Flying Labs of the University of Zambia School of Engineering has organized a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fair for young innovators. The initiative is sponsored by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, and Standard Chartered Bank in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Technology and Science. Here is Sarah Miti with the details.
As the world moves into the fourth industrial revolution, innovations in science and technology become a very critical aspect and should be encouraged. The Zambia Flying Labs from the University of Zambia School of Engineering have been nurturing 20 young innovators in science and technology through a STEM bootcamp, and today, some of them got a chance to exhibit their innovations and pitch their ideas to a panel of sponsors. The government has, through the Ministries of Education and Technology and Science, held the university for the initiative, and the sponsors, the United Nations Development Programme and Standard Chartered Bank, for complementing the government's efforts in promoting science and technology to foster economic growth.
The Zambian government envisions accelerated digital transformation by investing in new generation of our talented and ambitious youths who represent the present and the future of our country's industrial revolution. It is for this reason that the New Dawn government continues to place emphasis on technology and science.
The sponsors of the project, UNDP and Standard Chartered Bank, are confident that the initiative will contribute towards the achievement of the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
I believe this exciting and fun-filled bootcamp can stimulate the youth to become critical thinker and creator of the technology which can possibly address the most pressing issues and challenges that the country is facing. This is the reason why us as UNDP, we have proudly, through our Accelerator Lab team, supported the government of the Republic of Zambia to promote research and innovation by the creation of the National Innovation Initiative Experimentation Program, the ANI, across the 10 provinces of the country.
Very, very excited to be here. Happy to see UNDP because we have been working with the UN. We signed a memorandum of understanding on just being able to support the young people, support the youth, support employability, support all the different initiatives in line with the SDGs, and just to see how we can be able to get to the next level. So this is very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to all the young people that are here.
Chileshe Chishimba is one of the accelerated innovators, and he explains the motivation behind his innovation.
Notice the challenge that we have in the medical field, because I come from a rural area. I'm from Northern Province, and there are places in Northern Province that cars can't reach. and you find a situation where we have an emergency and we need medicine. If you make a request, it will take days or even weeks for the medicine to reach. But if you use drones, it will make those things easier and cheaper.
The fair was concluded by a pitching session by 5 of the innovators, where Sharon Zulu, an innovator of smart poetry, emerged as a winner and walked away with a cash prize of 2,500 kwacha. Sarah Miti for Zanis in Lusaka.
We now take a break, but still ahead in the news, Kalabo teachers get housing units through CDF. Stay tuned.
Life is a journey full of varied experiences. Can we reach our desired destiny? Can we achieve our desired goals? If yes, then how? Join Juliet Mutale on Thursday at 18:30 hours on How I Made It, a program that highlights various success stories from different personalities with different life experiences and backgrounds. Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
We continue with the news. Kalabo Central Member of Parliament Chinga Miutu has handed over teachers' houses to 5 schools in Kalabo district, which were constructed using the Constituency Development Fund CDF at a cost of 1.6 million kwacha. Here are the details.
He has been in his constituency to witness the handover of staff houses built through Constituency Development Funds (CDF) in remote parts of Kalabo District in Western Province, to the excitement of the residents therein. Kalabo Central Member of Parliament Chinga Miutu was joined by Kalabo District Commissioner Msango Njamba, Kalabo District Chairperson David Myundu, Town Council Secretary Kamwata Pongo, and Kalabo Education Board Secretary Malamo Mwangelwa in handing over 5 teachers' houses to Lushi, Siongo, Kakinga, Kalombwe, and Nalusheko primary schools, respectively.
This, I would say, these are beginnings of our activities, because this is 2022 programs. So we are yet to present more. I'm assuming if not June month end, July, we must have another set, a bunch of
Kalabo Town Council Secretary Kamwata Pongo said the houses have been constructed at a total cost of 1.6 million kwacha.
We just had a successful handover of 5 staff houses. These are meant to improve the working environment.
While at Kalombo Primary School, Kalabo District Commissioner Msango Njamba said government will continue providing a good working environment for its workers, regardless of the area.
Now 4 houses within half of the constituency, Kalabo Central constituency. We have already handed over 4 houses and 3 classrooms. So this means that the new Dawn government is on course of giving people what they promised to them.
And Kalabo District Chairperson David Nyundu said the quality of works done by all contractors was impressive.
And if you look at the quality of works, at least the contractors has done it to the expectation. Quality for the money, value for the money. So I'm really delighted on behalf of the...
It is not uncommon to find teachers in primary and community schools in rural and remote areas lodging in disused classrooms and poor and mud structures due to lack of decent accommodation. Tinembeo for Zanis News, Kalabo District, Western Province.
Over 2 million kwacha has been disbursed to 30 beneficiaries in Chinsali district under the Constituency Development Fund. District Commissioner Samuel Mchemwa says the funds are meant to improve the livelihoods of people in the area. Let's now join Pamela Inambao with the rest of the details.
They expressed gratitude to government for benefiting from the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF loan empowerment. The 30 beneficiaries, consisting of cooperatives and individuals within Chinsali district, have received checks ranging from 20,000 kwacha to 100,000 kwacha. And Chinsali District Commissioner Samson Muchemwa, who handed over the checks, urged beneficiaries to utilize the funds prudently.
It is incumbent upon beneficiaries to account for the funds and use the resources for their intended purpose. This is of crucial importance for meaningful development to be realized. Some of the notable Ventures to be undertaken by the loan beneficiaries include poultry farming, fish farming, pig farming.
The beneficiaries are grateful to government.
This gesture has given us an opportunity to benefit from the component of loan empowerment today. This empowerment will go a long way in ensuring that poverty levels are reduced and youth empowerment is created in all wards through various businesses which all beneficiaries will venture into.
May God continue leading the UPND government for changing our lives through such empowerment.
They also shared how they will spend the funds.
I want to start a business using this money. I want to thank government for empowering me and many others.
The New Dawn government will indeed continue improving lives of its citizens through various empowerment programs such as CDF. Pamela Inamba reporting for Zanis in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
And in a related development, government has given empowerment loans over 2.7 million kwacha to 21 groups and individuals in Lukasha constituency in Kasama district under the Constituency Development Fund CDF allocation. Helen Bwalia now reports.
These are individuals and cooperatives who have been awarded empowerment loans from the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF under Lukasha constituency in Kasama district. 21 beneficiaries have been granted loans from the 2.7 million kwacha CDF empowerments. The recipients are happy to be among the successful beneficiaries. Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu was represented by his deputy Lewis Mwape at the ceremonial presentation of the 2022 CDF empowerment loans.
I want to encourage you, all the beneficiaries of these empowerment loans, that the monies you are receiving today should help you improve your quality of life, business, and the people around you. Constituency Development Fund is designed as a tool to contribute to poverty alleviation and job creation in our communities.
Kasama District Commissioner and Kasama Mayor had this to say.
Some of the people that we had given some loans from the other constituents are trying to share the money. That is a crime. Once you'll be caught, like he said, you'll be taken to court. This is the money we are giving you at this particular time for you to use, so that when you pay back, we also give a chance to those that have got not this chance that you have at first.
To be so proactive, making sure that you go to all the corners of your various wards, so that everybody has got this information. By this, I'm encouraging information flow.
Helen Bwalia for Zanis in Kasama, Northern Province.
We now take a break, but still to come in the news, Luangwa traditional leaders bemoan increased human-animal conflicts.
Hello, it's time for you to know your rights. For ignorance of the law is no defense.
People should report any case of gender-based violence to the police. They should not be tempted to compromise the cases, because compromising a case of gender-based violence is actually an offense.
Zambia, like any other country, has got laws that govern the welfare of its citizens.
We provide some check, some oversight on the police service.
When an officer misconducts himself, he's alone. One person being beaten is enough for the commission to move. The Constitution tells us that the people of Zambia must enjoy their liberties.
Every week on Thursday at 19:30 hours, the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis, brings to your screens a program dubbed Police and the Community.
If we, the police, and you, member of the public, will work together, because the common enemy we have before us is the criminal.
Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
Welcome back. Now, human-animal conflicts cases have continued to rise in Luangwa district. Traditional leaders have appealed to government to crop the wild animals that are instilling fear among the local communities. Here's a report from the district.
We have had 3 attacks by elephants. Even our harvest is affected.
This is the story about human-animal conflict among the communities highlighted during the stakeholders meeting at Chief Mpuka's palace. Chief Mpuka appealed to government to intervene and protect the crops and lives of the people.
We feel, 1, in the elephant thing, they must be cropped. 2, the people in the villages to defend themselves from the elephants. These elephants must be cropped.
Speaking during a courtesy call, Lusaka Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Alex Mapushi expressed government's commitment to ensuring that the lives of the people are safeguarded. Mr. Mapushi said government is concerned with the issue of human-animal conflict in the area.
About the animal-human conflict. That will have to be also looked into immediately so that we can safeguard the lives of our people here. We don't want our people to be losing lives because of wild animals. So we have to find a solution to that almost immediately.
National Parks and Wildlife East Lower Zambezi Area Management Unit Warden Chongo Puta said his department is on the ground to protect both the wildlife and the people.
Yes, we receive a lot of reports due to the increase of population, definitely settlements and unplanned land allocation. But as a department, we are working hard and respond to those human conflict, deploying the officers in various places which are very, very hot, which we call corridors, where animals passes to come and have access to vegetation and water between Zambezi River and Luangwa.
Lista Ndumba, Luangwa District.
And in Mbala District, the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has delivered food and non-food items to 23 pupils of Zombe Day Secondary School who were affected after their dormitory was gutted by fire earlier this year. Mbala District Commissioner Anipo handed over the items, which include 123 kilograms of rice, 23 blankets, and 9 buckets of dignity kits. Ms. Paul said the donated items are aimed at alleviating the challenges that the affected pupils faced after the inferno. And Mbala District Education Board Secretary Wilfred Chilala expressed appreciation to DMMU and government for the support the education sector has continued to receive. Sub-Chief Zombe, who was present during the handover, commended DMMU and government for the gesture. Meanwhile, Annie Nakalumbi, one of the pupils affected by the fire, thanked the DMMU for the timely support. And in the health sector, the Ministry of Health in Central Province has targeted to immunize over 400,000 children aged between 6 to 59 months during the 5th round of the Integrated National Child Health Week. The Child Health Week and oral polio vaccination campaign is scheduled to take place from Monday, June 19th to Sunday, June 25th, 2023. Details in this report.
With only a few days remaining before the Ministry of Health implements the Child Health Week, government has decided to integrate the Child Health Week and the synchronized multi-country bivalent oral polio vaccination scheduled for 19th June to 25th June under the theme Holistic Child Care for Universal Health Care. Central Province Permanent Secretary Miuna Manakampwe was represented by Assistant Secretary Mwapeka Sanda at the stakeholders preparatory meeting for Child Health Week.
Colleagues, talking about Child Health Week, children are very, very vulnerable and they depend on adults for their survival. And as such, they need a lot of advocacy and support from all leaders at all levels to ensure that no child is left behind. I therefore call upon all councillors, church leaders, MPs across the province to sensitize their members to take children to the nearest health facility during the health week.
And Provincial Health Director Ebo Cavallo has called for more stakeholders to come on board.
We'll also be doing POPV, that's polio vaccination, round 5. As a province, you may be aware that we are vulnerable by virtue of our geographical position. So we are here to ensure that we protect our population against the shocks, particular shocks that affect the province. That's why we're doing this polio campaign. And to do that on our own as a sector, we cannot manage. And I think it's very, very important that we engage our various stakeholders to come on board.
Public health specialist Isaac Banda now explains how the strategy will be delivered.
OPV, it is actually house to house. That will be the main mode of delivery of these packages from house to house. So we'll be knocking on your doors, ensuring that we don't leave any child behind. And what are the interventions that will be provided as we move from house to house? The first one is the polio vaccine that we are talking about. And we are targeting children who are under 5. That is those who are 0 to 59 months. So
Daniel Billy, Zanis News, in Kabwe, Central Province.
We continue with the news. Lusaka Province has launched the Children's Code Act number 12 of 2022 and the Child Safeguarding Framework. Provincial Minister Shiu Muliata officially launched the act during the commemoration of the Day of the African Child at Chimusanya Secondary School in Rufunsa. Jonathan Mkuka now has the details.
Lusaka Province has launched the Children's Code Act number 12 of 2022 and the Child Safeguarding Framework. Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Muliata officially launched the Children's Code Act number 12 of 2022 and the Child Safeguarding Framework during the commemoration of the Day of an African Child held at Chimusanya Secondary School.
All of us gathered here to be proactive in advocating for a safe cyberspace for every child, which if not handled properly has devastating long life effects on the development of the child.
Mwachi Nankamba spoke on behalf of the children.
I wish to reiterate that Zambia being a Christian nation, we need to live by the values that reflect who we are from the biblical perspective, from a household level and at a national level.
Senior Child Development Officer Samuel Daka says the launch of the Children's Code Act shows how committed the government is towards the protection of children.
The Children's Code Act places an obligation to fulfill the protection of the rights of the children and is based on the principles of non-discrimination, best interest of the child, and child participation among
Other stakeholders advocating the rights of a child also had this to say.
As we are talking about the digital space, we also look at the digital divide that currently divides children from rural, urban areas, as well as other advanced areas.
Ensure that the African child has got the potential to fully realize their dreams through access to the digital environment.
Jonathan reporting for the News in Rufunsa, Lusaka Province.
And now for the rest of the news. Government says sexual and gender-based violence SGBV remains a pressing issue that requires continued attention and collective action. Northern Province Minister Leonard Mbao said this is why government will continue providing unwavering commitment to initiatives aimed at preventing and addressing the problem. Brand Siwisha reports that Mr. Mbao said this when he officially opened an orientation and engagement meeting on sexual and gender-based violence under the Natwampane project.
Sexual and gender-based violence remains one of the country's major challenges. The vice has led to breaking down of families and even led to deaths, a resource that is important to overall national development. But government, with support from cooperating partners and stakeholders such as World Vision and the European Union, is happy that the Natwampane project in Northern Province is changing the scenario.
While we celebrate the achievements of the past 4 years, we must also recognize that our work is far from being complete. SGBV remains a pressing issue that requires our continued attention and collective action. As a Minister of Northern Province, I assure you of my unwavering commitment to supporting initiatives aimed at preventing and addressing these persistent problems. I would like to acknowledge the government of the Republic of Zambia and its various line ministries for their invaluable support and partnership with Natwampane. The collaboration between government agencies, civil society organizations, and communities is essential in sustaining the progress made in and ensuring the rights and well-being of our citizens, particularly the most vulnerable among us.
Project team leader Anne Sampa says the project is determined to bring out results through its one-stop centers established in the region.
Have gathered here for a crucial workshop aimed at firstly updating you, our esteemed members of parliament, on the significant achievements that our program has made in the past 4 years, including its impact. We also wish to take stock of the legal status as pertaining to addressing issues of children and adults as far as sexual and gender-based violence is concerned. As I state this, allow me to inequitably express my deepest and special appreciation to each one and every one of you for your presence here today.
Meanwhile, World Vision is happy with the successes so far scored through the implementation of the project in the area.
As you see the presentations in here in terms of update of the project, you'll find that there is really a bigger gap. We have really worked together, but we should mention that, projects have timelines. And your raw discussions on how best we can move forward, sustaining the gains, and also ensuring that these services are accessible to every member of our constituency.
The project has brought together 11 members of parliament from Northern Province in Siavonga district to give them an insight of how the project is being implemented. Brans, which are reporting for Zanis in Siavonga district.
And finally, Eastern Province Education Officer Brenly Malambo says sport helps pupils to be physically fit as well as improve their intellectual ability. Malambo was speaking in an interview with Zanis on the sidelines of the 2023 Eastern Province Inter-District Racquet and Ball Games competition at Gonda Barracks in Chipata. Sylvester Chimba covered the event and brought us this report.
The 2023 Eastern Province Inter-District Racquet and Ball Games has kicked off with all teams from the 15 districts aiming to be victors. The under-17 teams are competing in football, basketball, netball, rugby, volleyball, tennis, and squash. The event, which is expected to end on Tuesday, is being held at Gonda Barracks in Chipata. The players give their individual objectives for taking part in this year's competition.
I'm here participating in the inter-district sports under the district of badminton. Badminton is really a tough game, though people say it doesn't involve jumping like basketball and other stuff, but it requires you to think as well, to understand your opponent as well.
Our expectation as a district, we want to do our level best so as we can attain
Eastern Province Teachers Association Chairperson Philip Zulu outlines the significance of the tournament.
The last time the games took place was in 2018
And having these labs, it has brought excitement that the first time we are meeting at Gonda Barracks, where the tournament is taking place, and there is stiff competition. The essence is to form up a team for the province. We are picking all the talented children in the province. We have racket games taking place at badminton and table tennis. We have ball games that are taking place here, netball, under 17, football, under 17, rugby, under 17, and also under 13 in the same categories.
Provincial Education Officer Brandy Malambo is happy with the way the event has been organized.
All my districts are here, 15 of them. They have come to compete so that we can select our boys and girls that will represent the province of Livingstone, where the tournament starts on the 30th of this month and will come to an end on the 5th of July. What excites me about what's going on here is the fact that we have the involvement of all the districts. And as you can see, every pupil that is here participating is excited. Why? Because in the past years, 1 or 2 years, such was not possible because of COVID-19 effects.
Sylvester Shimba for Zanis in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
That sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, let's take another look at the top stories in our news. Kafulafuta Dam project advances. Kalabo teachers get housing units. Luangwa traditional leaders bemoan increased human-animal conflicts. And Eastern Province holds inter-district games competition. Thank you so much for watching. That is all we had packaged for you on the main news. On behalf of the entire news production crew, my name is Henry Himonde. Remember to join us again tomorrow at the same time for another edition. For now, it's goodbye.